In today's video, I will show you how to leverage AI to your advantage by taking you through the process of building a custom AI workflow. This workflow is designed to automate repetitive tasks, streamline your workflow, and free up your time. So the whole idea is for you to spend less time on paperwork and more time connecting with clients. Whether you're a seasoned agent or just starting out, this video is packed with actionable tips and strategies to take your business to the next level. Welcome back to this series. If this is your first time here, well, this is day 80 of a 100-day educational series that I'm running to introduce real estate professionals into AI, and more importantly, to help the real estate professional adopt AI within their business. Now, today's session is all about building your custom workflow, and the idea is to try to get you to identify the key tasks within your organization that could be ripe for adoption or replacement with automation, and ideally replacement with automation and AI. So those two things are different. If you don't know what the differences are, leave a comment. But the key thing is AI tries to mimic human activity and human intelligence, whilst automation just essentially replaces key steps with computers rather than any overly high decision making. So within automation, the replacement of certain tasks would mean that you've made that decision upfront, so you've created the rules, whereas AI comes up with the rules based on the information that it receives. So let's get started. So the main objectives today would be to identify those repetitive tasks in your daily operations and replace those with automation. Learn how to map your workflow visually for a better understanding and optimization, and discover and integrate relevant AI tools into your workflow. So the idea is from that workflow, we can identify the key things or key aspects we can replace with automation or different tools. So why build a custom AI workflow? Well, the first thing is we're trying to get your business to be more nimble. And if you're a small or medium organization, you want to be able to push the boundaries a bit and get closer to the bigger businesses, or as close as you can, or perform the role of many employees with automation rather than having to employ multiple people, because your business can't employ any additional staff. So the key thing is you want to reduce the time spent on repetitive tasks. So if you're not doing it, you're free to do other things that are of more value, like working with your clients, negotiating deals, finding new deals. The other thing is you want to be able to increase the efficiency and productivity of your business, and you want to be able to improve the accuracy and consistency in your processes. So imagine some tasks that you do now that you're able to replace with automation, and you don't have to worry about it because you set the rules and it's off and running forever, essentially. Now, the power of mapping the workflow visually is that you can see from a visual standpoint what steps are involved in the tasks you're completing. Sometimes people just work in a machine-like way without actually noting the different aspects that they're completing, but they're just completing these things without actually thinking. It's just subconscious to them. They're used to it, they have the skill, and they're probably the best at it, but they may not necessarily be the ideal resource to focus on those tasks. So you want to identify bottlenecks as well and be able to streamline how your business works. Ideally, if you've done this quite well, sometimes you can find other tasks that actually can be replaced with just the one task, or where things can work smoother with some nice integration of AI tools. So the best way to start would be to do a posted exercise. So you write the task, you place it on a board, and ideally I would like you to run through that process now as well. So I'll just give you a bit of time to write down the tasks that you do, and then consider any tasks that involve data entry. So data entry is essentially something anyone can do, but it takes time and it costs money. So data entry, anything that involves scheduling, maybe scheduling viewings or scheduling appointments, or your calendar management. Also think about document analysis. If you're in a position where you review a lot of contracts, tenancy agreements, or any purchase or sale agreements, include those within the post-it list or the brainstorming session. So these ones, we can pick them off one after the other and come up with a solution that would automate that entire process so that you're free to do other things. So prioritize the tasks that take the most amount of time, and you can work through to see if those tasks can be automated or how far along the automation paradigm that task can be pushed. So run through that process with different tasks or different aspects of your business, and you'd see that there are many things that you do that ideally should be automated. So here's an example of a task that you may perform within your business. So this is a lead nurturing workflow. Typically, an organization would receive somebody's email or somebody's introduction. Let's call him Daniel, because this screenshot has Daniel in it. So Daniel joins your list or just shows interest within your company. Now, what do you do next? As soon as Daniel shows their interest, depending on the CRM system you have or the automation system you have, you might be able to score Daniel and determine if Daniel is ready to purchase something immediately or needs a bit more encouragement going forward. So Daniel gives you his email, you take his email, you tag his email or his contact information, you save that to a database, and then you send him an email with an ebook link. So that ebook link could be, oh, Daniel, if you're a first-time buyer, this is the kind of information you need. You give them an ebook with details of how a first-time buyer could go from not having a property to completing a property. So things involving the solicitor, raising finance, and how much cover he needs on his salary in order to afford a property. You could teach them how to work out the amount of mortgage they can get from a bank, and then you wait 2 days. Then you send another email reintroducing yourself with other information in the second email. Then you wait again 2 days. Then you send a third email. So within this whole process, all of this can be automated. Nobody needs to sit there scheduling each client manually. Now, if you've got a decent CRM system, this can be very easy to do. You just program that in and it happens automatically. Failing that, you can add this to the tasks that you want to automate. Fairly straightforward task, but if you think about it, somebody having to do this each time or make sure that the rules are working and the monitoring of those rules, that takes time, takes resources, and you can automate this. And if you think about it, you can also add other things to the end of this. So you could keep nurturing and sending information to Daniel, add him to your newsletter or mailing list. You can send different properties to Daniel as well and show how he'd be able to purchase those things. And with AI, you can also personalize the emails that Daniel receives. So that's a key thing to consider. Now, you'd also want to identify the tools that you can use for your integration. So AI-powered CRMs are there to help you with automating the task of lead scoring. So the lead scoring is where you determine how close to completing a task or making a purchase a client is. So with that lead scoring automated, you'd automatically be able to categorize your clients approaching your business. You can automate the email marketing tools and how you nurture those leads. Things like virtual assistants or chatbots, they're always running. You can integrate the chatbots into your social media platforms as well, and all of that is automatic now. So you don't have any reason not to be able to engage anyone that comes in contact with any of the touch points within your business, be it social media, email, or via your website. Now, the next thing is building this workflow that we've just come up with. There are tools like Zapier, Make. They're there as adapters between different applications. So they sit in between one application and another. So what they do is with a tool like Zapier, you're able to create zaps, and those zaps essentially connect one application with a second application. So if somebody approaches your website through your or joins your newsletter or your mailing list through your website is not the same as your email system. So what you can do is you say, all right, this person's coming through the website, tick, this is a website client, then you add them to your database, and then you can fire off a request through Zapier, which is then forwarded to your email system, which might be MailChimp. So MailChimp receives the email address and then sends that email with the ebook attached to that email, right? And then puts that user within that wait queue of 2 days, as we saw on the workflow. And then 2 days later, MailChimp will send another email. So all of that can happen through something like Zapier. And there are multiple applications you can connect. You can also use Zapier to attach any requests or demands to ChatGPT via the API or to any other AI model. So the next steps for you really would be to continue this exercise for different tasks within your organization. Now, you want to be able to monitor what has been put in place. So what we looked at here is a very simple example, just to show you how easy it is to do the mind mapping. And once that's in place and you've implemented the automation, you should be able to track how the automation is working. Just make sure that it is actually saving you time and not adding more headache or more friction to either your clients or your staff. And don't be afraid to experiment. Always keep an eye on the goal. As mentioned in previous sessions where we've said that in order to get the most out of any AI tool, you need to make sure that it ties back to your business goals. So if your business goal is all about lead generation and lead nurturing, then you have to have a goal that matches that lead generation, and that goal needs to have some AI tools attached to it. So that journey would be goal, mind map or workflow creation, AI tool. And then once all those things are in place, you can then monitor how things operate. You check the numbers, check your KPIs, so the performance indicators. A performance indicator would be, all right, an increase in the number of leads that are being nurtured or added to your database, or a reduction in complaints from your clients. It could be anything, but you come up with the performance indicators and monitor those performance indicators like a hawk. Just make sure that AI is delivering what it says. And a lot of these integrations can be fairly easy to put in and fairly cheap to adopt. So in conclusion, from today's session, what you should have gotten out would be you should now know the tools and have the knowledge to build your own custom AI workflow. At least the mind mapping you should be able to do yourself. You should be able to identify repetitive tasks within your business and how to brainstorm to get other automation possibilities. And then the third thing you would have gotten out of this session is how you can leverage AI tools to streamline your workflow and free up your time to focus on more revenue generating tasks. And then the final one is to have at the front of your mind that you need to continuously monitor and optimize those workflows to ensure that the efficiencies that you are after are actually achieved. And the final thing to talk about for today's session is AutoRead.ai. We are AutoRead.ai. We specialize in automating business growth, automating business processes. We build chatbots for businesses, chatbots that essentially act as your employee 24/7. And these chatbots can integrate with your social media feeds and your website. So anything you're interested in on the AI front, do reach out to us, partner with us. We'll work together and we'll deliver those benefits that you're looking for. And key thing is you want to have that competitive edge over your peers, and we can definitely help you deliver that. So reach out to us via our website, autoread.ai, or send an email to ua@autoread.ai. And in that email, just ask to be added to the wait list for an AI audit. And once we do the audit, we'll present you with the report, and you'd see the different areas where our services can work with yours and combine to deliver the benefits that you'd like. We're also available on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and obviously YouTube. I'd love you to leave a comment in the comment section. Ask any questions you have on there. Anything you need clarification on, do put them in the comment and we'll be sure to respond. So until next time, you can watch another video from a previous session. They're all well labeled and they're all just as informative as this one, if not more. So until next time, keep winning.